You may wonder that what is there to learn from a gangster warfare or an illegal business and things like that. All these thieves are much more innovative than the police. It is the business which unites the family. It is the business which perpetuates the family. How do you channelize this emotion? How do you channelize this frustration? If you are determined to build your family and the family business, the providence will work along with you. Even the God will work with you. Hello, this is Suresh Ramanujam, family business custodian. In this episode, we are going to learn from the blockbuster movie Pushpa. Before I dive into the story and the lessons and the learnings, I would like to congratulate Allu Arjun garu for a phenomenal acting in this movie. I would like to congratulate the director who has actually shot this movie so beautifully, and the entire crew and entire team of Pushpa who has done a fantastic job in this entire movie. I think it deserves great awards and accolades the way it is shot. Couple of days back, Allu Arjun garu got the national award for being the best actor in this movie from President of India. Arjun garu, we are really proud of you and your achievement, and we wish you and we pray for you that you get many more such awards in future. Pushpa story is all about underworld illegal businesses and the gangsters warfare. It's the purest portrayal of survival of the fittest. You may wonder that what is there to learn from a gangster warfare or an illegal business and things like that. I don't want you to go too far in this because we inferred certain interesting lessons for family business. As I always say, we can pick up learnings and lessons from anything, and we pick up the good parts of everything, and how we make use of that, how we use it in our business matters. So therefore, there are also lessons to be learned from gangsters. Lights, camera, family business, igniting minds with music. There are two kinds of economies which you've always seen. One is a black market economy, which always thrives for ages. And there is white market economy, where we are all part of, we are all blessed to be part of, which is governed by some laws, which is governed by some regulations, okay, which are governed by some ethical standards, philosophies, etc. So Pushpa movie is based on the black market economy. The parallel black market economy also has certain attributes, certain elements, which also can be an aspect to pick up from. Like, for example, the kind of speed with which the transactions happen there, the confidentiality with which the transactions happen, and the trust and the relationship between people to execute this affair seamlessly. And fourth important lesson is innovation. In fact, there used to be a saying that in the US, all these thieves are much more innovative than the police. So it's like that. So in the black market economy, the gangsters, they are much more innovative. So as in family business also, these four elements are very critical, right? You need to be a speed with which you grow, the kind of confidentiality you maintain, and the kind of trust you build over a period of time. And the most importantly, the innovation, the kind of product innovation or the process innovation, which is very critical for us to stay in business for much longer. So these are certain elements. Of course, this is not the most important lessons. I just thought these are some elements which is also applicable to family businesses. So in this movie, what are our observations of the learnings or the lessons which we can pick up from? Okay. The first important lesson I saw is the search for identity. If you really look at we as individuals or we as family business owners or entrepreneurs, what drives us or why we struggle so much, why we toil so much, why we sacrifice so much, why we show our aggression so much, it's all because we want to create an identity. We want to create a differentiation. We want to be a brand, and eventually we want to create a legacy. So in this movie also, Allu Arjun is in his pursuit of creating an identity for himself, for which he is very fearless, for which he is very aggressive, and is dashing and whatnot. Okay, you can say all of it, but everything leads to a single purpose, which is he wants to create an identity. He wants to be someone to reckon with. So that is one lesson or a learning which I observed from this gangsters movie is search for identity is very, very important for a businessman. The second lesson or the learning is the blood is the bond as well as the brand. So what do you mean by this? I need to just narrate the climax for you to understand this better. In the climax scene, the police will say that, I'm the brand, he's not the brand. So the hero will, shoot his hand, the hand full of blood. He'll just put his hand like this and say, this blood is my brand. One of the trigger for the character Pushpa to emerge as a brand is also the family, because of the difficult childhood where he was mocked at. That triggered Pushpa to emerge as a brand. What I infer from this is the blood is the business of the family. And this business is what brings the family together. This business is the one which creates the family as a brand in future. So therefore, what I wanted to convey is that it is the business which unites the family. It is the business which perpetuates the family, which is what I want to infer from this. Blood is the bond and the brand. The third aspect which I observed in this movie is that the emotional scars create the emerging stars. Okay, I repeat, the emotional scars creates the emerging stars. So what do I mean by this? Pushpa comes from a very difficult childhood. He's born out of a wedlock. He's been time and again humiliated by people around to say that he's fatherless and things like that. So that is basically the trigger for him, which has created an anger in him, which is actually drives him crazily to create an identity for himself. We have always seen people with very difficult backgrounds are always created history. Even in Elon Musk's case, we saw, right? He's a person from a very difficult childhood with an abusive father and all that, who has eventually created a history. Like that, there are many, many examples, people with difficult backgrounds, different backgrounds, who are deprived of a lot of things from childhood, has always created history. The only thing is, it needs to be channelized in a right direction. The example from Pushpa is that it is channelized into a wrong direction of being a gangster. Both can happen. Okay, it's like a knife, it's a double-edged sword. The anger and the frustration can actually make you a gangster and still be a leader in the gang, or it can actually get channelized into a right thing which can create huge businesses, can be someone who creates an history. So the most important aspect is that how do you channelize this emotion? How do you channelize this frustration? If you are a family business owner, with all the struggles and turbulences you go through, if you channelize all your anger, all your frustrations into something meaningful, something positive, you will surely create an history. This is what you have seen time and again. Therefore, the emotional scars create an emerging star. If that gets channelized into something sustainable, something with a larger purpose, consistent effort, creating positive impact to the society as a whole, you will become an eternal icon. So, we always end our episode with a very powerful Thirukkural. Here we go. குடிசெய்வல் என்னும் ஒருவருக்கு தெய்வம் மடிதற்றுத்தான் முந்துரும். In Tamil, I'll tell you, தன் குடும்பத்தை கட்டி எழுப்ப உறுதியுடன் உழைக்கும் ஒருவருக்கு தெய்வமே முன் வந்து உதவும். In other words, God will volunteer to help a person who work with determination to build his family and family business. So, if you're determined to build your family and the family business, the providence will work along with you. Even the God will work with you. That's what it means. நான் மட்டும் சொல்ல, திருவள்ளுவர் அதான் சொல்றாரு. So thank you so much for watching. As I always say, please share, subscribe, comment. Your encouragement matters a lot to us. Next episode, we are actually going to learn business lessons from a spiritual guru. I think the way the spiritual gurus run their services, the way they run their institution, there are lots of lessons that family businesses can learn. It is going to be an interesting episode. Please wait and watch.